Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tips from the Top. I am so excited about tonight's call, and I'm so excited to be bringing these calls back to you. We will be starting them up again, having one fabulous jewel share with us every month. And tonight we have one of my absolute favorites, Helen McFadden. And I'm just going to share a little bit about Helen McFadden. Helen is one of the very first diamonds. I think she was like number 2 or number 3, or what number diamond were you? Number 2. The second, I knew it was like something like the second diamond in our company, y'all. So I just want you to know that she has some tremendous wisdom. And if you ever had the opportunity to meet Helen in person, y'all, she is one of the most genuine people. She is the type of person that when you are around, she makes you feel so incredibly special and like you are the only person in the room. And so I am so honored for her to share with us tonight. Helen is also one of on the advisory board with our company. So I'm so sorry. I'm so incredibly honored and excited for for her to share with you tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you now, Helen.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that's like the nicest introduction I think I've ever had. That is so sweet. I'll never forget meeting you for the first time in Maui. That was so fun. And you blessed my life big time. So thank you everybody for helping on. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow, I'm so impressed with like your turnout. This is so nice. I love sharing. And I don't know if you all have heard my story before. I don't want to take up too much time sharing that part because I got some good stuff, other stuff I want to share with you. But I will sort of just share a little bit about my journey just to help put into perspective some of the things that I share with you tonight, why I believe them to be truths about our industry, network marketing, multi-level marketing, social network whatever we want to call it, right? The business, the industry that we are in, okay? And, you know, I have been known to shell out some tough love, but I often will say it's a lowercase t and a capital L because I do it because I love people, I love this business, and it hurts my heart when people they find themselves in a level of frustration in this business instead of finding joy in their business, because this is an industry that we all signed up for. Nobody, you know, twists your business, and you're not distracted by shiny objects. Like you truly do love this company, you love our products, you love people, and that you find joy in helping other people, because those are the things that are critical to your plexus business. And I'm not saying just this business, in your plexus business. We're going to talk about your business tonight, okay? But first, I'll just share that I was in another network marketing company for 16 years prior to Plexus. It was a cosmetic company. It was which translates to lots of inventory, lots of parties, lots of product changes, lots of packaging changes, seasonal changes. Just a very cumbersome business. Now, to some people, that is exciting, and that's really fun. They love to have a little store, and they love to, you know, all the time and all that kind of stuff. But for me, over time, I had a lot of burnout with that business. I got in that industry, that network marketing, and that was really the only model I knew was parties at that time, to be home with my family. My husband was a flight attendant, and when he was gone for 3 days a week, I wanted to be able to be there for my boys. And so what I found was over years and years and years of working weeknights and weekends, because I got to get the people when they're home, and we're not talking about nooks and crannies like we are in Plexus. We're talking 2 to 3 hours of a time block away from my home, okay? So my time freedom was pretty much non-existent. And then about the last and I had 8 company cars. You'd think on paper, 2 of them were the top cars, somewhere between the color red and white. I'll let you figure out what company that is. And I never, ever, I want y'all to know, like, I never dissed that company. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the wonderful things I learned in those 16 years. Amazing training and great mentors in that business. But I felt like it was 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. And I just was tired. And I found myself at a point where I felt like, okay, I'm about 40-ish. I got another half of my life to live. Do I want to pursue something new, or do I want to stay in this industry? And the answer was overwhelmingly no. I want out, and I will never join network marketing again. I took the opportunity to take care of my aging parents. My dad had Alzheimer's, and my mom had early onset dementia, which turned into Alzheimer's. So I had a lot on my plate, and I wanted to be that child that took care of her parents. It was an honor and a privilege, and it's something that I never regret. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do that. However, I still needed to bring home money. So I took that opportunity while I was their caregiver to work a few other part-time jobs, go back to school. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. And it's not a very fun place to be when you're in your early 40s and you don't have a 4-year college degree. So I had a lot of fear throughout those years, but a lot of prayer too, because I choose to try to at least live my life with faith and not fear. But it was a pretty scary time for me. So to fast forward 3 years of doing that, I was a Weight Watcher leader, was one of my jobs, and I missed that part of network marketing, helping people to feel empowered. I love being a cheerleader and an encourager for people. I love to strategize with my team members to help them to reach goals. And I love to have a front row seat to others people's success. So I missed that part, and I got to do that as a weight loss coach. And I really connected with my members because I had struggled with my weight all my life. So I loved being able to help people on that health aspect. So I literally used to pray on my drive home, Lord, help me with a plan B someday when my parents are no longer with me and I need to work full time again. I would love to do something like helping people get healthy. But of course, I couldn't keep going back to college. It was too expensive and I didn't really know where that would go. And then of course, I was never going to sell anything or do network marketing. So that whole saying, we pray, God laughs, because, he is the one who's ultimately in control. And I was on just a little social media site called Facebook one fateful August afternoon, and I came across the name of an old friend I had been in the other business with, Sheila Medina, and I quickly learned, I stalked her wall, we weren't even Facebook friends, so it's super divine that I even saw her name on Facebook. A mutual friend liked a picture. So when you like posts and all that, social media, it does work. It expands your network. And so I found myself on her wall, and I saw that she had just earned her Plexus Lexus. I had a used Lexus, the last pink Cadillac, I'll just tell you, that I had earned from the other company. I actually bought a white used RX 300 I took the cash option. And my younger son would get car sick a lot. He gets motion sickness like me. So I called it the nasty Lexus, especially in the summertime. There weren't enough bounce sheets and detailing to get this gross smell out of my car. So I was like, I want a new white Lexus. And so that, I can say the rest is history. But there was quite a few steps in between that. I did call Sheila, remember me, would love to hear more about this opportunity that's given you this car. When I learned about the products, of course, one network marketer to another, of course, I wanted to know, I literally asked her, like, I wanted to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because when she told me that she made 6 figures her first year and what the products were doing for her friends, and I knew how much my Weight Watcher members struggle with sugar and carb cravings, and myself as well. I was like, I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. How many people have died drinking this pink drink? And she was, I laughed thinking back to that, because I did not want to believe that what she was telling me was true, but Sheila had like mad credibility, so I had no other reason to believe her. She was not the type to embellish or anything like that. So it was really just her credibility and her passion for these products and the business. Big clue right there that got me to join over the phone without ever tasting the pink drink. Okay. So now you have to know, no one was happier than my husband when I got out of the other business, because the house I live in to this day has been refinanced twice because of the debt that was incurred from my last opportunity. Now hear me, I had 8 company cars, 2 of the top ones. You would consider me to be a top director in that company, but I still had debt. So I had a lot of perspective going into this business on, like when Sheila said it was $34.95 to join, and that you didn't have to hold parties and have to purchase supplies. Like so much of your income you could actually keep because you weren't always needing to reinvest so much of it to run your business. Things like that were important to me. So of course, when I went and told my husband that I was going to join another network marketing company, I mean, I should have taken a picture of the look of his face, because if looks could kill, it was that picture. And he basically said, you cannot say the P word, and you cannot, you just basically cannot until you bring home money, and nothing is going on the credit card. Okay, honey, like a good wife, said. And so a few things happened. I pretty much teased my best friend Sonia Dudley for 2 days and told her ultimately, you are doing this with me. So when I joined on that Tuesday in September of 2012, she joined 5 minutes after me. Now within a couple days, she recruited her mom, her sister, and her coworker. So she went silver her first few days in Plexus. So that following Friday, now this is really powerful for y'all, and we have the $199 welcome pack option now, and I hope you guys are excited about what that can do for your points and rank up. Duplication at its finest if you can start really, truly believing and promoting that welcome pack. Okay, I joined with the $199 welcome pack. I mean, it was the best deal. I didn't question it. And again, perspective, $199 and $34.95. When I came from a business where it was $100 to join, and people were going to the bank to get a credit card or a loan to take out thousands of dollars so they could have their store. Okay, so to me, it was a no-brainer. Of course, I wanted the best deal, and I needed to use the products. So that following Friday, I got a check for $100. So guess what I got to do that day? I got to run around the house with my check and say, Plexus, Plexus, Plexus to Matt, because nothing went on the credit card, and that was pure profit from me just sharing with a friend who started sharing with her network. So there is power in that Friday check. Don't ever underestimate the value of the ability that you can actually give somebody the opportunity to get paid within 10 days of joining or less. I mean, I could have joined on that Saturday, sponsored Sonia, she got 3 people, and then a week later. And people are looking for jobs, which means more time away from their family, more weeknights gone, weekends. We have such an incredible compensation plan. And I was so grateful for that check because it gave me the opportunity to see our compensation plan in action quickly. And I believed when Sheila told me, because I said, where can I go learn more about Plexus? And she about spit out her pink drink and said, Helen, most people have never heard of Plexus. You'd probably be the first person in Reno, Nevada. When I say that, I don't want y'all to think, oh, yeah, because you got in early. There's a lot of people who got in early who are not successful. So it really doesn't matter when you get in. It's your mindset and your belief from day one, your line that you draw in the sand, that because you got to think your credibility is everything. I wouldn't have joined if Sheila didn't have any. So it's okay if you need a little do-over, if you did things wrong. And Lord knows, we did a lot of stuff wrong because we had like no tools in the beginning. I mean, Andrea, you guys were around somewhat in the beginning before we had all the stuff we have now. So when people say, well, when did you get in? I say, really, it doesn't matter, because now is the best time like ever to get in, because of all the mistakes that we've made and all the things we've learned as a company and all the incredible people that have been lined up in our leadership and at the corporate level who are in charge of these very important departments to grow our company. The people we have in place are brilliant, and they are making amazing decisions because we have now, I've lost count of all the focus groups we have of diamonds that are constantly giving feedback. So this company has partnered with their leadership team and all of us in our One Plexus family to get it right. So please know, anybody you bring in right now, and you just hold on to your seats for after Super Saturday, what's about to be, the way we're going to explode in our company. Just keep planting those seeds and know that 2019 could just be like the best year ever. And I believe that with every fiber of my being. Like Andrea said, I'm on the advisory board. I'm able to just know a little bit of information for coming, and obviously I can't say what it is, but just know. I mean, there are truly moments I just like jump out of my seat with excitement for just how blessed we are to be in this company to begin with, but then the people, the culture that we've created, and now with everything else, it's like, I mean, I always say, like, my shiny object will always be Plexus, like always be Plexus. So that was pretty much my story, my beginning. You know, Sonia and I linked arms from the get-go. And when I say how important it is to have that belief, like, we really were too dumb to doubt. Like, I believed Sheila. I had no reason to not believe Sheila. And I thought, you know what? If she can go build from scratch with literally nothing but a drink that she tried that didn't even have a name at the time, and start getting people to try the drink and get results and share, why can't I? Please don't ever allow anyone's story to make you feel like your success is minimized. Begin to develop that, like, well, if she can or he can, why can't I? There is absolutely no reason. I mean, Sonia and I, like, we would get on these like Sunday night calls with Sheila, Coach, Patty, and Ronnie, or Deborah and Jerry, and that was all we had. And then our Wednesday night calls, which we have the Monday night calls now, which are awesome, our new opportunity calls. But we would hang up and go, someday we're going to have our own calls. We're going to have our own team. We're this. Like, we were speaking every day our success, instead of the fear, which easily could have taken over. I mean, the second person I shared after Sonia was a friend of mine I had known for almost 12 years. And she had always had some weight issues, and she had like a lot of other health issues as a result. And when I shared with her and gave her a 3-day trial in the very beginning and said, oh my gosh, I want you to try this. I think this could be so helpful. Just, give me your opinion. We're pioneering this company. Y'all can keep saying that. We're still not a household name. You all can be pioneering wherever you are, right? And I said, I would just love to get your opinion. And she took the first day, she drank her drink. And then the second day, she didn't want to drink it anymore. She gave it to her mom, which was kind of like a mom to me. Like, I love her mom. I used to stay at her house when I would go do skincare classes in their little town, because it was a 2-hour drive from Reno. And she said, Helen is selling a pink drink that makes you lose weight. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. So please don't think for a minute that any diamond or any jewel or anybody that you're unfortunately comparing yourself with, because it's always unfortunate, because whenever we compare, we always come up short, right? That we have not had our own hurt and, setbacks in our mind that could be like detrimental, had we not had that fortitude to go, you know what? She knows what she doesn't know. And someday, because I've made a decision, I've put myself out there now to say I'm with Plexus, and I believe in these products, and I truly believe that she thinks of me. But that little phrase, why would I ever let her stop me on a goal that I have set for my family? And I promise you, if you can just have that attitude every single day, miracles happen. See, because I'll never forget the day later when I flew to Tennessee with Sheila. We met in Sonia's town, and we spent 48 hours watching Sheila getting trained, because we, 3 months in, we had great testimonies and we had teams. I believe I was already a goal, but we didn't know what we were doing, which is another, another lesson there. Don't feel like you have to know what you're doing. This was sheer passion, and like, that's a great question. Let me find out and get back to you. That's a great question. I haven't thought of that yet. Let me get back to you and find out. I'm going to call you tomorrow at noon. Does that sound good? Does anybody think I'm uneducated or dumb for saying that? No. So please don't feel like you have to be perfect and have all your ducks in a row before you can ever do this. Because that day, 3 months after I was told that that was the stupidest thing I'd ever done in my life, that gal messaged me and said, I'm ready to join your company and try that pink drink again. She became a Ruby ambassador, and her mom became a gold ambassador. So don't ever think for a minute. See, we have a saying in my house after 6 years, sooner or later, they all come around. And some of them come back around and back around and back around. But why? What's the constant? I've never wavered. I'm not going anywhere. My belief is more solid than ever. I'm more excited about my business than ever. There are no shiny objects to distract me. And see, more is caught than taught in this business. I'm sure you've all heard that. But there's a lot of meaning to that, because how you show up daily, powerfully, and to empower others, which is what it's all about, is giving this away. We're always giving everything away. And how can we give anything away if we ourselves are not a solid through and through believer, right? A true believer. People will catch that. And here's the sad truth, is that many people are waiting for us to fail. They're waiting for us to get our aches and pains back, or to gain our weight back, or to go back in rank, or to stop going on a leader's retreat. People are waiting because, unfortunately, there's enough people out there who just don't have a dream themselves. And when we don't feel good about ourselves, we look for other people to fail, and we can never really believe something like this can work. So what a wonderful opportunity that we have in this business to be that tall tree with those deep roots that are not going anywhere. Because truthfully, most people, they want to see people who have conviction and have passion and believe in themselves. I believe that to be true more than the other naysayers. And I love when those naysayers do come around, because it was just, they weren't informed. They didn't have enough confidence themselves to make a decision. But by us being an example day in, day out, I always say this, day in, day out, it's not the end game. It's in our daily routine. Success is in our habits, what we do every single day. It's all the little things that start to add up to the big things. And I promise you that there's blessings in the longevity of this business. So why is it that so many people get frustrated in our industry? I believe it's because I don't think we really understand what network marketing is. See, network marketing is all about a volunteer army. And so if you've ever been to my convention training, I don't care what training I do, I always manage to get this in because it's truly relevant from every angle you could look at. And if it is to be, it's up to me. And I don't just say that lightly, like, oh, if it is to be, it's up to me. Yep, I got to get up every day and do my IPAs. I got to, there's so much behind that saying that will matter for your success. It's about not blaming people, not blaming your upline or your sideline or your team. It's looking in the mirror every single day and feeling that you're enough, that you can actually do this business, that God wouldn't have put plexus in your lap and put a dream in your heart for you to that are meant to be shared with the world. And Plexus is a vehicle for you to be able to do that. So this is where my tough love comes in. When we wake up and our feet hit the floor, we don't say, oh, I got to do my IPAs. I got to try to get some more credits for that contest. I got to get, I got to go meet some new people. I got to go find some new groups to join on Facebook. No, it's like, oh my gosh, like what a blessing to be part of something so meaningful and life-changing for people. What a blessing that I get to be the messenger of life-changing products, because somebody that I know, hasn't been revealed to me yet, but somebody in my circle more than likely woke up this morning and prayed for their health or their finances or possibly both. And I get to be the one, Lord, show me these people. And when you operate by faith and gratitude and conviction, and that's what it means to draw your line in the sand. You don't just like the next time somebody like says something negative or quits, you start to look at it as a sign, or you start to second guess or question yourself. That there's a lot that's always going to happen when you put yourself out there in life to do something big. And the more no's and the more resistance you get, then you have to know you're up to something big. Because it's always, John Maxwell says, it's always an uphill. Anything worth having is worth working for. And work usually means you're going uphill, not downhill, not always winning and earning and being the number one or being the, superstar. I mean, I always say, be humble on the way up, because you could have a little valley that you're in for a long time. And this is the best self-improvement course you'll ever get paid to take. And so know that every little setback or everything that you perceive as could be like a negative, or am I really cut out for this, is actually a lesson that you could learn, and that somebody on your team more than likely will have come to you someday and say, oh my gosh, I had the same thing happen. And this is what I've learned, and this is how I can help you. See, that is emotional maturity. It's not like, oh my gosh, these people are driving me nuts. I mean, we can all have a little pity party because we're all human. I don't want you to think that I'm like Miss Pollyanna 24/7 by any means. Angie knows me. I'm not. However, I chose to be in this business. I chose. So why would I choose then daily to look at things from that perspective? Like, I want to love my life. I want to enjoy my life. I want my team to see a leader that has some balance in her life. Those things are very important to me. And so we've got to just always be looking at that perspective. But you can have your little 5-minute pity party. I always say, go to your upline. Don't go to a sideline. Go to someone that you love and trust. Have your amen corner. But you get 5 minutes and then you go on, because who cares? Somebody asked me yesterday, I have this negative team member. She texted me. She goes, do you ignore those messages or do you address them? And I said, well, it depends. If it's out of my control and it's something that I've already shared with her or handled with her, then I do ignore it. But I just think we just allow people all the time to affect us. And we got to keep that like a wall up of, not a wall where you put people away, but a wall where you bring people in by example, by showing them, I know, people can be like that. Girl, just keep going. I mean, just keep plugging. There's so many people who love our products. What do we say? Life is 10% how what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. And that's our business. Isn't that our business? I mean, we don't have control over most of the people that come on our team. Even some of our level ones, they just sign up. And it's like, where'd you come from? I don't know that I want to work with you. And then you just, are dealt the card you're played. And that's all good. It's all part of a lesson. And these are just some nuggets I wanted to share with you tonight from being in this industry for over 20 years now. And, again, I chose to come back. As great as Plexus is, as great as our comp plan is, as great as our products are, what is the common denominator? We always will have people, and people can be the most wonderful part of this business, and they will continue to be the most challenging part of this business, because it's about relationships, because it's about stuff and things and people not necessarily meeting you where you're at, but you've got to meet them where they're at. And that's why personal growth and development are things you can do every single day that I actually consider IPAs. When people say, well, I'm going to do a book study and read this, book on personal development, it's like, you know what? If it's that important for your success to be a sound, solid leader, person that can look in the mirror and say, I am worthy of success. I have gifts and talents that I know I can share with the world and make a difference. When we can truly believe that with every fiber of our being and stop the head trash and the negative self-talk and feel like we have something to offer, then that is going to further your business. You will rank up. So that is I consider it an IPA. I mean, whenever I hear that, I'm like, personal growth and development is definitely an IPA. And it's something that you want to really take seriously in this business, because it's that okay with me. How much of what we do is this attraction marketing? Is it not? I mean, I know scripts have importance, and there's a whole way to go about messaging people or reaching out. But so much I feel trumps that is your energy signature, your confidence, your posture, all that kind of stuff. Let me just make sure, because I wrote down a few other things. And then I don't know if, Angie, if I've gone over, I don't think I've gone over. Yes, I had a half hour.